Today we're going to be taking a look at the new moon in Taurus and what does it mean on a collective level. So, Taurus is the sign of finances, resources, self-esteem, and it also has to do with our psychology. And new moons are times of manifestation and of planting new seeds, starting new projects. So, now is a good time if you wanted to start new financial ventures or to invest your resources into something new, or perhaps to start or heal issues of self-esteem and of inner value. So the moon is conjunct Lilith. So Lilith indicates a rebellious part of our chart. It's where we go our own way, and a lot of times we are seen as being negative for it. I feel as though it's like a feminine version of Uranus. But it is not an actual point in the chart. It's not an actual planet. It's just the part of the chart where the moon is furthest from Earth and where the moon is most dim. So in this case, it's a new moon, so the moon is completely dark. But this new moon is taking place at lunar apogee, I believe it's called, which is the furthest point from Earth for the moon. And so we might be finding ways to decentralize our finances during this time, or to find self-sufficiency and independence in our finances. This is a good time for doing that. And this was a theme of Uranus in Taurus being conjunct to the sun a few days ago. So we're still experiencing that energy, especially with Uranus in Taurus, right? So this new moon indicates it's a good time to find, financial independence, or to go your own way and to separate yourself for the sake of your own well-being and your own self-esteem if that's necessary. Because something that we have been experiencing recently is this sense of inner turmoil between expressing our authentic selves or expressing what we expect society or others want to see of us. That's a theme of Uranus being in Taurus when it was conjunct the sun. And just generally speaking, there's this sense or this need to be more reclusive as a result of this inner turmoil, where it's hard to decide whether to express oneself authentically and get a bunch of negative reactions or get strong social consequences or verbal reactions, or whether to just dim our own authenticity and be in accordance and act in accordance to what we expect people want to see of us. And that's a lot what the sun has to do. And in Taurus, it has to do with our values. So sometimes during this time, we have felt this need to dim our own values or the things that matter to us in order to fit in with others. So this new moon indicates that, it's a good time that you can act on your own values and go your own way and be a rebel and seem, negative to some people, but at the same time to find more freedom in your resources and in your financial life, as well as your well-being, your living situation, etc. So the moon is in the 6th house because what I do is I just find the ascendant. So this moon is in the 6th house of the chart, indicating that the ruler is Mercury. Mercury is conjunct the North Node and it's in the 7th house. So during this time, it is a great time to materialize various financial ideas or to materialize different investment ideas, because that's what Taurus has to do with. And the ruler of this new moon being Mercury is conjunct the North Node, which has to do with materializing objectives. So as well, we have Venus being in Gemini, and it's conjunct the descendant. So there will be a need to be diplomatic and to assess the social consequences of our actions during this time, and perhaps to set boundaries and make agreements with people about what's okay and what's not okay in terms of your own self-sufficiency and your own well-being. Now, the North Node and Mercury are in the seventh house. So it's a good time to materialize various relationships and business agreements, especially using your leverage of your own resources and your own value. So you can use what you have to offer during this time to materialize a good deal for yourself and to negotiate a good deal for yourself in business, in love, and in partnerships in general. So the ascendant is in Sagittarius, and we have the part of fortune on the ascendant. This shows that our actions during this time will manifest our desires and our objectives, and it's the best way to materialize things. Sagittarius is about learning. It's about the minds of others and being able to exchange intellectually or mentally with others and being able to understand their thought process. That's why it has to do with learning and teaching. So with the part of fortune here, um, now is a good time to take on new learning endeavors, new skills, new education. But we see the South Node being in the first house as well, conjunct the ascendant. So the South Node has to do with spiritual topics. Perhaps learning about spiritual things during this time will help us to detach and gain more leverage over our lives by having a more detached nature. So the ruler is in the third house. So this definitely has to do with intellectual exchanges and being able to understand the thought processes of others and also to communicate our own and to teach others what we want them to know. And Jupiter is in Aquarius, it's in the final degrees. So this shows intelligent conversation, intelligent expressions, intelligent, logical communication and exchange. So that will be a theme of this moon. You know, it's conjunct the I.C. or the fourth house. So the I.C. or the fourth house or the sign of Cancer, they all have to do with solutions to problems, answers, especially emotional problems. But it's all about the solution and the answer, making connections. So now is a good time to use logic and to learn things that will solve your own issues of emotional nature or of security and self-sufficiency in terms of your living situation, because that's what the fourth house is about as well. It also has to do with creative projects. So now is a good time to learn new creative skills. And the South Node really reinforces that because it's in the sign of Sagittarius and it's in the first house. So this will be, spiritual topics or creative topics, intuitive topics. Those are good things to learn during this time, like channeling, astrology, different occult topics of that nature. Now, let's see. We have Pluto in the second house. So, we could be making transformations to our financial status and our financial situation. But Pluto is retrograde, indicating that there is resistance to these transformations. And they might be a little bit hindered during this time. And instead we'll have to we'll have a need to be more diplomatic and to be socially intelligent and to appeal to the needs of others instead of just, going things our own way during this time. So, yeah, that is the main themes of this new moon. In terms of aspects, we have Pluto trining the sun and the moon conjunction, the new moon. So this has to do with transforming our financial situation, our work situation. Again, there might be some resistance here because Pluto is retrograde. But, the outcome of our transformations will be, new forms of self-sufficiency, new freedom and new well-being, higher self-esteem, all the themes of Taurus. And this will be a result of, making changes in our work life, our work surroundings, our public business, our social media. Next aspect that I see is we have Neptune sextiling the new moon. So what this has to do with is creative ideas, imaginative ideas. So our imagination, Neptune is in the sign of Pisces, so it's in its own house. We feel very imaginative during this time. And our imagination is especially strong and free flowing. But it's in the fourth house as well. I should say, and it's in the fourth house as well. And the fourth house is about creative projects. So we will be getting ideas and imaginations about different creative ideas because that's what the sextile is about. It's about ideas and inspiration. And the new moon is being sextiled. So we will be perhaps starting these new creative projects and ideas, especially that will create new job opportunities for us because the moon is in the sixth house, and as well create new financial opportunities, new opportunities for self-sufficiency, freedom, comforts, etc. We have Uranus directly trining Mars. Sextiling Mars in the eighth house. Very strongly sextiling. So the different jobs and tasks that we complete during this time will be motivated by security because Mars is in Cancer. And we will have ideas of how to better secure ourselves and also how to manifest or to secure our desires because Mars is in the eighth house. We'll be using our understanding of psychology, the values of other people, what matters to them, in order to secure new wealth and also to secure ourselves and our living situations. And Uranus means that we will be doing it in a decentralized way and we will be leveraging our own resources because Uranus is in Taurus in order to better secure things that we want from others and also in order to secure our living situations, like I said, and our security. Now, okay, the last thing I wanted to add as well is that Venus is in Gemini. So Gemini is the second house from Taurus. And why that matters is because Venus rules Taurus. So it's second from its sign. This indicates that we could be securing or attracting a lot of finances during this time through the themes of this new moon. But most importantly, what we will be securing is freedom, choices, variety, options. That's what Gemini is about, especially with Venus being there. There's a opportunity to meet various different romantic prospects as well. And there is this opportunity to gain more freedom through our financial independence or independence in our living situations or transformations that we make in our surroundings and our work environment, the people that we allow to navigate our lives and to affect our own self-esteem and our well-being. And the changes that we make regarding who we surround ourselves by and how we choose to express ourselves and how independent we are, This will allow us more freedom, more opportunities, a variety of options, etc. Venus is square to Jupiter in the third house and in the final degree of Aquarius. So it's at 29 degrees Aquarius. So in terms of romantic prospects, in terms of our relationships, there may be conflicts over beliefs during this time and over convictions. So even in the dating sector, perhaps there will be differing beliefs about the state of reality and stuff. And it's has to do with Aquarius because Jupiter is in Aquarius. So these will be perhaps logical debates or, debates of intelligence. So there may be a need to influence people with your own opinions and your own intelligence because Jupiter is in the third house. But with it being square to Venus, this means that there will be conflict or disagreements. And there is a need to, be diplomatic or perhaps to convince people of your own opinions during this time or to avoid conflicts of that nature altogether if you do not want to deal with that. But that is something to expect in romance and partnerships during this time and also new dating prospects. Like there's differing opinions right now and people will clash with your own opinions. And as well, you guys might get into a logical debate or like an intelligent debate. Some people enjoy that, but it is a stressful aspect. It's a square. So this might hinder relationship prospects, hinder relationship issues as well, and relationship progress in your life. But yeah, those are the aspects that I'm seeing for this new moon. And other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in a future video.